Good afternoon, my dear respectable fellow citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone. This now, our sister once again, Sister Gugi from London, the CEO and founder of the Advocate for Good Governance Sierra Leone. We're a registered organization based in Sierra Leone. The date today, now the 12th July 2021. I send out this message today on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone to all Sierra Leoneans, including His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, at the attempt for capture on kind attention as a result of freedom of speech and as well as the impacts of violence on a state. Any country where they, particularly the Republic of Sierra Leone, as now in this organization they represent, will make attempt or will try for compromise freedom of speech, then don't compromise good governance, because good governance includes freedom of speech. And again, I particularly want for capture the attention of all Sierra Leoneans, including His Excellency, for respectfully remind una all say, a free society depends on the free exchange of ideas. Free society, therefore, depends on the free exchange of ideas. But how you go depend on the free exchange of ideas where they don't attempt for compromise good governance by trying to shut the citizens then down, make them no go there in any better platform for able for talk when something they go wrong, for able for speak out when something they go wrong. Freedom of speech now a fundamental human right, and once again it is part of good governance. The ability for we go express with self, for we go express with opinion, and for speak freely is very, very important in any democratic government. Freedom of speech will they use them for fights for a change. If you try for compromise, for attempt for shut down the citizens, them whether for speak out, that means you not create the platform for listening to anybody. That means you not create the platform for a change. That means you not create the platform for let people express their opinion. That means you not create the platform for any criticism. Again, for I add this one more. You not go able for facts for a fundamental right of humans or for anybody else without you know they in any better position for speak out when things and they go wrong. And any government of the day will try for shut the citizens then that make them able for speak out, then that government they're not ready for any change. That government they're not ready for listen. That government they're not ready for develop itself. And that government they don't in a higher potential, high risk for become a failed government. Because when government they not able for produce, it not get anything for point at, it not get any meaningful development where people are able to enjoy themselves, or where you go able for point at, say where are they now power, are they now the states, or are they in governance? Now this I don't do, now this I don't do, this I don't do. Then obviously your government don't become a failure government. In that regards, when power left you, you don't get anything for point at. So freedom of speech, now part of good governance. We're not for in any better position for compromise that for we own interest or for we own advantage by shutting down the citizens them just for we own advantage. When you try for shut down the citizens them, you don't put your own government and governance at a high risk of becoming a failure government. Violence. What's in a violence? Well, violence includes physical and or psychological torture, where you particularly intend for harm somebody else. Or sometimes it can be both. Physical and psychological. It can be both. And again, any government of the day in the Republic of Sierra Leone will introduce violence for let them not go criticize them, for let them not go talk bad about them, For let them not go point out their shortfall practices. For let them not go point out their failures them. For let them not go point out the bad things so then they do. Then decide for use violence. For try for shut down the citizens them. Then violence don't become a cheap option for that particular government day and or state. Violence. When you introduce violence in any government and or states, then are the cheapest option. When I mean cheapest option, are the cheapest option that's what the states intentionally and deliberately ready for take. And when you take that option there, to be honest with you, your government, you don't put them at high potential, high risk for become a failure government. Once again, violence. Under no circumstances for any government of the day introduce violence, tolerate violence, accommodate violence in any given and or democratic society. If any government of the day in the Republic of Sierra Leone attempt to use this cheapest option by using violence for distract the citizens them, by using violence for divert the attention of the citizens them, by using violence for shut down the citizens them, by using violence for put fear in the minds of the citizens them, by using violence for make sure say when things they go wrong, the citizens are not for talk, obviously that state they don't they at a high risk for become a failure government. Allow the citizens them for talk. Allow the citizens them for speak out. Allow the citizens them for speak out the burning issue. Allow the citizens them for talk what's in the they go right in the country. Give the permission and the right to the citizens them freely for talk. What's in the bother them, what's in the monitor them, and waiting the pain them. In return, listen to the citizens them. Listen to the cry of the citizens them. Listen to the problems of the citizens them. When you create that platform there, then that government don't become a collective government, collective effort, and inclusive government. But when you reject all of these ones, your government don't become an isolated government. It is no longer becomes an inclusive government, but an isolated government. And when you put your government into the isolation pathway, guess what? Things then don't begin to fall apart. Any South I put on, better thing they commode. Any South you put on, successful they commode. Development don't compromise. The country don't become stationary. Investors and they run away. Because nobody, no investor, no they, where they get in mind together, where they get in senses together, we're ready for go invest in any country where they tolerate violence and when they suppress freedom of speech. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, once more, on behalf of the Advocate for Good Governance Sierra Leone, you and I get for day in a better position, and Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, if you want to become a successful president in the Republic of Sierra Leone, I ask you, please, with all due respect, you therefore come out and condemn all violence when they take place in the Republic of Sierra Leone. You therefore come out, use your last voice for condemn any violence or atrocity when they take place under your government. For tell the people and say, your government not get any accommodation for violence. For tell the people and say, your government not they tolerate violence. For tell the people and say, yes, your own government not they compromise violence. For tell the people and say, yes, your government not get any platform for violence. And anybody will attempt or will try to introduce violence under your government, the law they take in your own order. And you totally condemn that and say no to violence. But if you not come out and condemn that and say no to violence, Your Excellency, to be honest with you, everything, any wrong thing, any bad thing will happen under your government, you no go say, you no be no. Now you not the state of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now you not the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now you not the father of the nation. Anything, any violence will happen under your government, then obviously you get for come back on top of your own table. And you no go talk say you don't know about it because you are the father of the nation. Violence. Any country or state where introduce violence, it only at high risk of becoming failure once again. On behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone, I tell you now, thank you for your attention. And please do not feel free for share this message, for share this video. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone and God bless the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone. Sister Rugi.